So we get to the main event. Champion versus champion title for title. Keith Lee, the North American champion, versus Adam Cole, the NXT champion. Very good main event. Great stuff here. Obviously, it would have been better with a hotter crowd, with an actual audience there, but you just make do with what you have. Good suspense. The kickouts were a little much. That's a common criticism of the Cole matches, and I totally get it. I understand. I'm not going to defend it saying, oh, it adds to the suspense, and I guess it does a little bit, but when they overdo it in every fucking match he has, it's annoying. But the match was very good. Great drama down the stretch. Yes, it was spoiled in advance. We didn't talk about that last week because I think the news came out after we talked. But yeah, I guess they recorded it, like, not that they recorded it last week, but one of the guys from Indashir actually spoiled it on his Instagram Live, which is incredibly stupid. I didn't read it. I kind of figured Keith Lee would win, but it was still a great moment. Very good match. Great moment. Keith Lee, as we've been petitioning here for a long time, now a dual champion. Not only the North American champion, but the NXT champion. Did this main event deliver to you, RJ?
I thought that match was good. I don't think it was the 5-star classic we were expecting. Honestly, this is so, like, the fucking PC people banging on the fucking plexiglass bothered me than knowing it. It's like fucking more distracting than actually, like, I don't know, that fucking bothered me a lot. I think it's just, like, took away from the match a lot. They just always fucking banging on the fucking glass. Like, just clap. It's fucking way better than banging on the glass.
Mm-hmm.
But the match that was good. Like you said, the fucking false finishes. Not a big fan of that. It's like literally a staple of Adam Cole matches. But thought it was good. Keith Lee winning. I think the finish felt flat. It kind of just came out of nowhere. I just thought it was a good win. I think we probably maybe hyped ourselves up more than it was. I thought, like you said, it was a good match. It just wasn't the 5-star classic that we thought it was going to be.
No, I agree. I'm not sure what the reason for that was. Maybe because it wasn't a takeover. I don't know. It was a very good match. Not as great as I thought it would be, but still very good. With the right result, of course. Keith Lee now an NXT and North American champion. What does he do? Does he hold both belts a la Seth Rollins in 2015, or does he vacate the North American championship a la the Ultimate Warrior with the IC title back in 90 after he beat Hogan?
I don't know what you do with him. I think there's a lot of credible challengers, so I don't know. Maybe he just, like, thing is, I don't really want him to vacate one of the belts, and then I think it kind of loses the prestige of the belt. So I would have him defend it. I'd probably have him lose the North American title sooner rather than later, so he can just focus on the NXT championship, kind of like what they did with Becky. Like, she only had the 2 belts for, like, not even 2 months. So yep. I would go with that aspect. Maybe Gargano wins the North American Championship, and then you do him and Cross. But I mean, I think they're really high in carrying Cross as well. So it'll be interesting to see how long he holds the belts for. But
yeah.
I just, like I said, I thought the match was good. I think he was the one that beat Cole. Maybe because it wasn't a takeover. Maybe they were running low on time, so kind of seen because it's not a takeover. They're not like. I think on a takeover, it's fine if they go over a few minutes because it's on a fucking. It's on a network that they are not worried about going over time. So maybe that's what felt wrong. Like I said, I just felt like the finish was kind of not rushed, just seemed very out of nowhere. So, but yeah, I think Keith Lee's the one to beat Cole, and glad he won. Just interesting to see what they do with him next.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. I thought it was a good match. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go from here. A lot of opportunities to book different challengers. Obviously, mentioned Johnny Gargano. I think there's some unfinished business there. I would rather he defend both belts, a lot like Rollins did, and Becky. Granted, they weren't for very long. But I always go back to the Jay Lethal thing. Jay Lethal was the television champion in Ring of Honor when he won the World Championship. He had both belts for, like, I would say 4 or 5 months, at least, like a while. And, like, he would defend the TV title in the opener, and then the the Ring of Honor World Championship in the main event. Now, you don't have to do that with Keith on every takeover, but I think holding both belts really, like, I hate the whole, vacate it, let's have a tournament. Like, we've seen a lot of tournaments lately. It would mean more if he gets beat. But then again, as you mentioned, maybe Johnny pins him to win the North American title. So clearly with Karrion Kross, they're building to him contending for the NXT Championship They teased him watching from the stands, and him obviously is going to be he's going to be facing Keith Lee on the Sooner side. So do you have him get pinned twice? It's a very precarious position because I'm going to vacate the North American Championship, and then Keith Lee goes on to lose the NXT Championship like a month later. It just kind of feels pointless. And maybe they move him up to the main roster on the Sooner side. I don't know, but I'm very interested to see where they go from here. And I thought it was a good main event. Keith Lee has been an absolute star since he arrived, really in the last 8 months, with the way they've been pushing him and the people he's beaten, the matches he's had. I thought it was a good way to close out the show.